Hi everyone, my name is Amsala Ainalam. My topic is the history of fashion. Fashion defines the ways in which we make things. Fashion implies the formation or creation of something using a form. The most common form of fashion is a dress coding of people. Fashion changes with time, the various events around us. According to fashion editor Diana Verland, fashion surrounded everything in our environment, clothes being the most dominant form. Fashion express the changes, time and event and culture with our society. But where did the fashion originated? Fashion date to 1826 with Charles Frederick playing a critical role in invention. Charles was a famous designer across the globe since between 1826 and 1859. Charles was an English-born man and creation of the fashion house across the United Kingdom and the world. Charles is the father of the fashion industry. How then was the fashion before the existence of Charles? Before Charles put his first fashion house in Paris, the unnamed dressmakers made a fashion. After establishing his households, fashion centers, the world started experiencing new design. Charles' fashion company started to grow extremely with time. People could recognize clothing from his house, which forms the basis of today's brands and brands identifier in fashion. Any fashion's house had to establish a strong brand with which it could be recognized. This house hired a designer who made patterns for their garments. The designer patterns were then represented to clients with either like them and made orders or reject them. But the system of pattern presentation to client replaced to the old system of representing customers with finished clothes. By the beginning of 20th century, Paris had established itself as the origin of fashion. Being the mother of fashion, Paris helped develop its industry to the other part of the world. People traveling from the city. During and after the World War, fashion started changing dramatically and early dresses became more casual. After the Great Depression, 1929, females started wearing suit and military-like clothes. By 16 and 17, fashion had completely changed, with women wearing miniskirt, flowery clothes, and panties. The music industry, with the rising disco nightclub, influenced the way of dressing across the world. Fashion plays a great role in political atmosphere of the world. For example, in 1916, fashion was used by the movement like counterculture and hippie movement. Human evolution is a massive related to fashion evolution. From walking naked to wearing animal skin and tree leaves, and human beings started involving with fashion. Decorating in the skin also represented a fashion. The ancient Egyptians contributed greatly to the evolution of fashion. Ancient Egypt were widely known for their tastes of fashion. Their clothes were made from linen, with this light fabric developed in their country. Fashion in the ancient Egyptian culture varied among the different classes of people. Rich people wear the soft linen clothes, and on the other hand, the poor people wear the rough linen, which made from the thicker fabric. Most modern fashion brands draw their inspiration and logos from the ancient and historical period. Versace, for example, drawn his brand's logo from the Hellenistic era. Fashion is used a form of identity across the various ages. The Egyptians were identified through their linen clothes. The study into the history of fashion is a great contribution to the history of humanity. Understanding the evolution of is a critical understanding the variation age of human being. Through the understanding of the fashion history, one can tell the like and dislike of community. Fashion contribution has a massive impact on the history and culture of people. Fashion designer can borrow at the heavily from the industry of fashion. New designers should learn from the historical context by designing fashion that reflect the various ideology and aspects of our society. The information that I have gained from this research is critically ensuring in continuity of the fashion trend. The knowledge on the history will also enable me for design with identity. This study will help people creating a good piece which reflecting great creativity. The study also gave people understanding of the various trends in the fashion industry. Thank you.